And welcome back. Our next guest is the Director of Programs at Corbin Hill Food Project. As she joins us to highlight how this nonprofit virtual food hub is bridging the food equity gap and empowering Black and brown families into our communities. And she's here to do her thing. You can check her out in the community. She is out there with her sleeves rolled up. Or she'll just cut off the sleeves and get out there and just do it like that. Give her a big hand, everybody. Yadi Garcia is in the house. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, somebody from your organization, I don't know if you...
Yeah, our executive director, Ismail Samad, was on before.
Yeah, and they were talking about the whole thing.
Yeah.
What part do you play at it?
I'm the director of programs and innovation.
Yes.
And so it's a fancy way to say I'm on the ground in community.
And that's what I said, on the ground with the sleeves rolled up.
With the folks, yeah.
Boots on the ground.
A lot of people call me Chef Yadi. I'm a classically trained chef. And whenever you're a chef, people ask you, oh, what restaurant do you cook for? Where do you cook? Right. And I always say I cook for my people. You can find me in community gardens, churches, community-based spaces. And I think what Corbin Hill is doing is really, really exciting.
Tell us about some of the things that Corbin Hill is doing.
So it started with Corbin Hill actually owning land upstate in 2009, founded by Dr. Dennis Derrick, and very quickly evolved to realize that more than owning land, in order to shift power into our communities, we really needed to work with the underrepresented Black and Indigenous farmers. There's only about 39 in New York, and they face a lot of challenges and barriers in getting their food into community.
Yeah.
And at the same time, community members are disproportionately affected by lack of access to fresh food in certain neighborhoods. And so I get to do the really cool thing of working with that food and creating programming around it. And I'm really into ancestral preservation of knowledge. That I learned how to cook from my great-grandmother and my grandmother. So I love to showcase how in our cultures we have so many healing foods and recipes, and we can really share and preserve that knowledge. So it's kind of the nexus of taking that fresh food from the Black farmers, bringing it to the city. But then once you give people fresh food, that's not just the guarantee that they're gonna go eat it or do something with it. That's when we come in with recipes, learning how to do skill shares and preserve that with joy, with dignity. We all know bad things might happen to us if we don't eat healthy, but I don't think that's what really makes the change. I think an emotional connection, when you feel, like I said, that joy, that love, that seasoning, it makes people really, really gravitate to it and take action in their own life.
No, food is medicine, and you gotta, do the right thing. Otherwise, the body says, hey, that is processed. I've eaten too much of that. Give me something different.
Good, fresh, local, seasonal food can be so delicious. In our cultures, obviously, we have a lot of celebration foods. But again, we also come from, I'm Dominican, so we come from
you got the flavor, you got the salsa.
And there's a lot of fresh herbs, root vegetables, natural seasonings, and that's what makes food taste good. So when you put that on fruits and vegetables, it also tastes delicious. So I love to learn from other community folks because everybody knows something. Everybody got a recipe, their mama or their titi or their grandma taught them. So I love for folks to share that knowledge. And then we find a way. It's not about what you can't eat, but also about what you can eat. What can we add to it? What local fresh produce, know? Yeah.
You can eat those things that you grew up with, but they're not all. You have to add to it. Like you just said, you have to add to it because a lot of the foods that we ate in the past are starch.
Yeah.
So let's add some more vitamins and minerals to it.
And there's a lot of
foods.
Social determinants of health. So the way that our health plays out is influenced by where we live, our access to healthcare, and our access to food or fresh food, I'm from the Bronx too originally, and the Bronx ranks number 62 out of 62 in health rankings. It didn't get better yet because we've been talking about that for a while. Not 62 been happening for a while. And so I think that we need to see representation, and what Corbin Hill is doing is we've taken that virtual food hub you were saying, and we're turning it into a physical food hub. So we have a new market opening on 140th and Frederick
good.
Douglass in
Yes.
Harlem. It's going to be open this summer, where folks can actually come in and get their fresh fruits and vegetables from these Black and indigenous farmers.
Grown upstate New York.
Yeah, grown so brought in. So there's like the logistics distribution, the equitable procurement, and then bringing it directly into our community. So we're removing those barriers, you know, to get the fresh food. And then what do we do with it?
Yeah. Well, Yadi, you're going to cook some of it, so we can taste it on location.
There's gonna be sofrito on everything.
There you go.
Okay.
Arroz con pollo with the good stuff, and then it's the flavor too.
Yes, and a lot of what we're doing too, it's like, again, not just the growing of the food, but how we use that food, and it's also cutting down on food waste. There's a lot of food waste in our communities and in the United States, which is an interesting juxtaposition
Yes.
to food scarcity. It's like, how can there be food waste when there's also like lack of access to food? But at Corbin Hill, we're turning some of that food into jams, jellies, sauces, pickles, kimchi, sauerkraut. So that food, even if it's not the fresh food, the way that you interact with it is to also preserve it.
That's how people did it back in the day, where you can have the food from the farm year round.
So let's get back to that ancestral knowledge.
Yeah. So, all right, this is seasonal. Okay, it's going to grow, and then we're going to starve for the rest of the winter months. But no, you make these things with it.
You might have fresh tomatoes in the summer, but then you're having tomato sauce in the winter, made from those fresh tomatoes, which is more nutritious than a lot of these jarred tomato sauces that are using sugar, fat, you know, salt to tickle those taste buds.
Yeah.
But it's not really nutritious. Yeah.
So people become people who are eating for taste instead of nutrition.
Yeah.
Because of all those things that the processed people, I'm calling them processed people, put into the foods.
But I think also representation is really important. So I think seeing Black and brown folk in community, teaching and learning and sharing about that food is really important, because we do not want tasteless foods. Like, you're never going to tell me that a plate of rice and beans are not healthy. That's a complete protein put together, right?
I know, you know.
Maybe the amount of rice or the things, you know, but there's just ways to share knowledge and to uplift the joy in the foods that we do love.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just make a big old pot of about 7 different vegetables and put maybe some chicken in it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the flavor. I don't add the flavor. So my daughter or somebody else is hey, Dad, this... Let me hook it up. Where's the adobo and all that other stuff?
Yeah, but you know, something we do like in our skill shares is we teach folks to make their own seasonings. So make your own adobo, make your own sofrito, make your own sazon.
Sofrito!
Yeah, make your own things, because when you know what's going into it, right? Like, you're not putting the amount of salt that's in a lot of these like preserved seasonings. And when you're working with like these fresh herbs, like the fresh basil, the fresh rosemary, the thyme, you know, these bring so much flavor to your food. And it's really important, I think, to uplift that.
And if you're dealing with type 2 diabetes or anything like that, you know, it's always good to watch and be careful what you eat. And you can still get the flavor, because you can add all those spices and stuff to it, but you'll get the greens and stuff that's grown naturally upstate. Yeah,
we actually have a registered dietitian on our staff, and one of the projects I'm really excited right now that we're working on is medically tailored meals. So we're going to have these like fresh meals that you can pick up at the marketplace, and I'm designing meals like baked jerk chicken thighs, rice and peas.
Why don't you bring some of that here today? Look,
you know, I know, I always make people hungry when I start. I was like, how can I not come with the food?
Next time.
Yes, and I really want to invite folks to come in the community and engage with us at the storefront. It's like a for us, by us space. It's a space meant to chill, to hang out, to see beautiful food and produce, to access it, to learn.
Yeah, but wait a minute, bring that picture back. It says pasteles and all that stuff on it. Look at that.
Pasteles, guandules, coquito, sofrito.
See?
That's my vibe.
Say that 5 times real fast.
Yes. So
that's good. So next time you can come, you can bring some of that food here.
100%. I make my own sofrito, and we're going to be doing that at Corbin Hill as well. Like making products so when you make your stew, you know, you can have some natural, locally grown sofrito from Harlem and put that into your food and feel good about it. So we have one location, but our director Ismail Samad, he's a serial entrepreneur, and he has about 3 to 4 market spaces. So in Boston and Cleveland, helped to start the Daily Table in Vermont, and so he's really we're all bringing that knowledge. I've done this work for over 10 years in community. So we're bringing, I call us the Avengers of food justice.
There you go.
Right? We're bringing all of that energy and all of that knowledge into this beautiful space.
Website.
Corbin Hill _ Food Project is our website, and Corbin Hill _ Food Project on Instagram. Please follow us, share with us, tell us what you want to see. Pull up. It's the cookout, but in a brick and mortar location.
There you go. Yadi Garcia, give him a big hand, everybody. Director of Programs, Corbin Hill Food Project. We love you. Thank you for all you
so
do.
much.
and
Thank
we're
you for
going to taste
having
your
me.
food the next time.
100%. You have
We're not
to.
forcing you to with the
No,
cook.
I'm down. I'm
But
down
you're,
for that.
you're an award-winning chef, so we got to check you out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Open next.